Hello and welcome. My name is Joseph Campbell. This is the Worldwide Psychic and Healing College. And today I would like to talk to you about the Rosslyn symbol therapy, all the way from Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland. Now, I would like just to introduce this one book, okay? Please don't click off. Okay, it's called, millions of people read this. It's Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code. Now, regardless if you like this book or not, it did introduce the world to what's called the Gnostic Bibles, okay, which is basically the actual writings of the apostles about experience which they had with the big man, Jesus Christ. Okay, it goes all the way through from Mary Magdalene, all the way through to Judas Iscariot, okay, and Thomas, who actually knew Jesus as a child. Okay, so it goes through all of the Gnostic Bibles. Now, I'm not here to talk about the Gnostic Bibles. I am here to talk about another place which is in Dan Brown's The Da Vinci Code, which is Rosslyn Chapel. Now, with that, I have to introduce what's called the Knights Templar, okay, which I certainly do follow. I do ceremonies, very powerful ceremonies. That'll be a very, very much later date, which I'll teach you how to do there. Okay, but for now, what we're going to talk about is a very powerful healing technique which I've created called the Rosslyn Chapel symbol therapy, okay, or the Rosslyn Deluxe healing method. All right. Well, I'm not here to confuse you. Okay. Basically, what I'm saying here is that one is for teaching, the other one is actually for performing the therapies, which I do very, very, very effectively. Now, there's a lot of, from what I see over my 30 years experience, thousands of new therapies which come onto the marketplace continuously. And I'm going to be honest with you, with all of the, like say, experience as an energetic healer over my years, I can honestly say some of them are quite genuine, and to be honest with you, majority of them aren't. But I would like to think is that basically I have created a very powerful and genuine healing techniques with the symbols, not only from Rosslyn Chapel, from Dunkeld Cathedral, Melrose Abbey, and Glasgow Cathedral. So with the four, okay, I'll give you 4 groups of symbols. Each one is a very powerful healing system, okay, to work with. And each one is actually very, very unique. Now, originally, I'll just get into how I created and developed it. Now, you're talking to the person here who actually originated and developed the first Reiki self-attunement formula, going back in about the late 90s, early 2000s. Okay. So as I created and developed the first Reiki self-attunement formula with the symbols of Reiki, the 7 sacred healing symbols of Reiki, within a short period of time, okay, I've actually gone through what's called my mastership, or to become a Reiki teacher or a master. I had a dream, okay, so I had a dream, all right, I had a dream of 7 symbols. And as I had a dream of 7 symbols, okay, to be honest with you, the Reiki symbols are so photogenic, they're so artistic in the form. It is absolutely beautiful, all the way from the Daikameo, the Hansha Shonen, the Shokare, all the way through. Okay. But the thing is that this isn't a lesson in Reiki. Basically, it's looking at the symbols, but those are absolutely beautiful symbols. The dream I had was just like this pillar in a tomb with the symbols written all the way down it. Okay. So when I woke up, to be honest with you, I just put the the symbol, okay, my dreams, and I wrote all the symbols in the back of my diary. And then I forgot about them, okay. So a few years later, because I always transfer all the information from one diary into the next, even specific dream stuff. So in other words, is that a few years later, I was on a visit, okay, to a Rosslyn Chapel in Scotland with my interest of the Knights Templar. And this is way before Dan Brown wrote his book, The Da Vinci Code. In fact, it might have been very much within the thought process of the embryonic process. So I went there in November. I just finished doing some promotions with my early script of the Reiki book, which was very popular. It originally was published by Home Press in Scotland. So as I was having meetings with Home Press, and I was basically traveling a lot around Scotland at the time, doing like say psychic fairs and events and seminars, I came across Rosslyn Chapel anyway, because I'd always for years wanted to visit it. So I had a day off, and anyway, it was a November day, and it was pouring down. It wasn't just, if you've ever been to Scotland, it's you can get very cold over there, believe me. So anyway, at that time, Rosslyn had the roof on, and you could actually walk up to the second level because there was steps. So I walked all the way around the outside of Rosslyn, all the way into Rosslyn, and the artwork and everything else is absolutely amazing. Okay, but still, I just couldn't find anything which I was actually looking for. To a point, at that time, there was only one or two visitors, possibly a day went to Rosslyn Chapel. And, I can honestly say is that basically a couple of, a man and his wife came the same time as me. And they must have been there for only about an hour and then left. But I was there like for a good 4 to 5 hours. And I was searching everywhere, and I just couldn't find anything until the end. I was that cold, I had to retreat. And as I retreated into, let's say, the little entrance area, okay, it was a bit warmer than being outside. And there they've got little books and books on Rosslyn and everything else. And there's a museum at the back. And as I walked to the museum, I had a look around, and obviously they're very much connected to the Masons, okay, and the Rosicrucians, but very much dominant within the Masonic fraternity. So I could see basically a lot of, regular regalia connected to the Masonic, and a lot of lodges, and also the Lodge of Rosslyn. And then I came across a little card. And this little card was jam-packed full of symbols. Now, if you remember the dream I was talking about earlier, even though all of the symbols on my dream, okay, weren't within the aspect of the card, they were very similar in shape and format. So I got all excited. I got all bubbly. I was a bit yahoo. And the lady that was at the reception desk, I ran over to her and I says, I've just found this little card in the library full of symbols. Do you have any books or anything that can make an understanding of these symbols and what they are? And so anyway, she had a look and she says, I don't think we have anything in that regard. I felt so disappointed because obviously I kind of basically break into the library and take the original kind of. So I says, okay. I sat down and, I felt dead disappointed because I just thought, well, And I had a little bowl of soup just to warm us up. And she says, well, look, I'm sorry, but we're actually closing in about 15, 20 minutes. So I said, right, okay, fair enough. Give us a pen and a piece of paper. So as I ran back into the library, I quickly jotted down all of the symbols. And believe me, there was a lot of them, all the ones from Melrose, Glasgow, Dunkeld, and Rosslyn Chapel. And she says, well, look, normally I would finish at 5, but, I can see that obviously you're on a little bit of a mission. I'll just wait back for you while you're doing that. So he says, if you buy a little handbook from Rosslyn. So I said, well, look, how much are this? She says £5.50. So I says, no problem. So I bought the handbook. And as I bought the handbook, within the handbook, it's the symbols, which I was writing down very badly. So it was well worth its money. So I left delighted from Rosslyn. I didn't have a clue what the symbols were, how I was going to work with them, or what they meant. But I knew that's what I was looking for. Then I went to Australia, and that's my spiritual home, if you wish. I was born in the northeast of England, and I live in Australia. So I went back, and then I started working with the symbols. And I attuned myself to each and every one of the symbols. And as I attuned myself to each and every one of these symbols, every one of them, okay, is as if revealed to them not only the shape, the form, okay, where they're connected into the physical human body, okay, but also they give me a little bit of a name as well. All right, so something which I can connect to, something which I can join, not only consciously, subconsciously, and divine consciously. But each one actually had its own power, each one had its own purpose, and each one had its own strengths. But once you actually connected all of the symbols, or joined all of the symbols in form, and what I mean by form, let's say with Rosslyn, the 22 symbols of Rosslyn, okay, so let's say once you actually joined the symbols, you realized once you actually started to tune yourself with the whole form, that the first symbol, okay, was actually the main power symbol. There's what's called true symbols, there's connection symbols, and there's actually called energy symbols within the formulas of Rosslyn, Dunkeld, Melrose, and Glasgow. So with that, each symbol gave me an understanding about how it worked, what it did, and why. But without that key, which I had a dream of a few years earlier, about a year earlier, I would never have been able to understand any of the interpretations from the Rosslyn, Dunkeld, Melrose, or Glasgow. So in other words, it gave me the key. It gave me the understanding about how to work with these symbols and what they do. So from there, okay, it was very much an adventure. Didn't take me weeks, I can promise you that. It took me years. So with that, okay, I started writing my books. The first book I wrote, well, basically just about finished that off and had that in the bag. I had a publishing company, Fint Home Press. And I had a lot of offers for the Attune Yourself to Reiki book. Okay, well, that's free on my website. Okay, if you wish to do the whole of the Reiki from level 1, 2, 3 and understand more than most probably what you would ever learn in any traditional Reiki class, how it works and why. It's all there for you. And the Reiki is all the way free, because I basically want you to get introduced not only to your own journey of healing, but specifically I want you to actually feel how symbols work. And believe me, Reiki symbols are only that, okay? They are a powerful healing symbol. And the same as the Rosslyn symbols. Now, as a symbologist and a person who actually does ceremonies, okay, I do know my stuff. Okay, so I'm not really going to go too far in depth, but what I am going to say is, believe me, these are only positive, healing, powerful symbols. Okay, so we're just going to go through now and just go through the steps of this manual. Okay, now I'm not going to get too far involved, okay, because obviously that's a very, very in-depth training schedule and process. Okay, it's not going to take you years, but it will take you about 12 weeks, 8 to 12 weeks to complete the courses. Okay, so obviously there's 4 courses with each one. Some of them are going to be a little bit shorter, some of them are going to be a little bit longer. But to actually learn all of the Rosslyn healing techniques, I've had to segment them up. Okay, so basically they're in small packages. Okay, so you can learn all easy steps. All right. And obviously the first thing which I would actually like you to do is the foundation course. Now, the main thing why I'm actually introduced the meditation foundation course is it's going to allow you to your higher powers. In fact, it's going to align you to all of your powers. So before you actually start healing, you have opened those divine and sacred doors. So that is basically, it's an asset, regardless if you don't go on to do the Rosslyn healing technique, or if you never even do another healing therapy, or if you don't even wish to be a psychic medium or even develop into those areas of your life. It'll help you within your daily and everyday life as well, because obviously it's giving you keys to strengthen you and strengthen your life. So first of all, what we have to do if you're going to write what's called a do-it-yourself book is actually simplify everything and make everything as solid and as simple for anybody can understand. Okay. Now, the symbols and how to heal with the symbols is very prominent and at the end of the book. Okay. So basically, we're going to do a lot of introductions. Okay. Now, even if you don't do the meditation course, there is a way within the manual, okay, the teaching manual, which I will supply you once you're actually on the course, to connect all of your guides to you through your conscious, subconscious, and divine conscious, with utilizing the symbols from the dream key. Okay, but also you have to understand, and I do explain it easily, the underworld, the middle world, and the higher world, the 3 aspects, okay, of life. So in other words, we all have a past, we all have an experience of every day, and we all want a positive future, okay, regardless if that future is positive or not. That's what we desire. Now, the subconscious knows you, knows your past, your present, and your future, and only wants you to be happy and successful. Unfortunately, what happens in life is we have a lot of what's called security restraints. So in other words, we've actually got to disconnect some of those security restraints to then bring in the more positive connections. Okay, it's not going to harm you. It's very, very positive. So working within the introduction, okay, it covers what's called the stupa. Now, the information which I'm giving you here, okay, isn't brand new. Even though I've created this new technique, these have been around, and the understanding been around for thousands of years. Okay, so certainly we're within the Buddhist realm. Okay, you've got the stupa, which is the underworld, middle world, higher world. So it's the 3 steps of your growth, okay? And any Buddhist would understand that. With the meditation techniques which I have, even if you're not very good at meditation, I give you a way so that you will actually understand and learn meditation very powerfully and very quickly, even if you do it from the book, okay, or the course manual, all right, the Dream Key, Attune Yourself to Angels and Guides, the Rosslyn Healing Method. So, which isn't available on Amazon. Okay, I took it off Amazon because basically I didn't find them very good. It's on Lulu Publishing Company. So with that, I take you through, okay, my steps of growth. Now, I did have to starve myself, okay, for quite a long period to get this information for you. Now, you can say, why would I want to do that? Well, okay, I'm a little bit, how can I put it? Okay, on my side of the world, okay, if I feel as if I need to achieve something, I get it done, okay? And if it means is that I've got to sit on a mountain for a while, okay, that's exactly what I do. So yes, I did starve myself, and I don't expect you to do exactly the same things of what I've done to get the information through. But what I do like, okay, is for you just to basically give this a chance and to learn it, okay? In fact, it's very simple. The truth is that if anybody knows me, they know my mantra is the more you try, the less you're going to get. Okay, so in other words, I don't want your energy, I want the energy of light, and I want healing power. And I want the symbols to create as they go through your conscious, subconscious, and divine conscious levels to create that healing effect. Okay, and I'll show you exactly how to do that. So basically with the teaching process which I have, okay, you can say is that with our friend little Dan Brown with his stories, okay, he's got a new, or had a new one out quite a few years ago called The Lost Symbol. Okay, well, with my therapies, you've actually got 96 of them to work with them. I don't expect you to remember every symbol. There's a lot of them, okay. Even I also have to work through the manual sometimes, okay. So in other words, basically, it's there for you. All right, all you do is just go A, B, C, D, and keep it dead simple. All right. So in other words, it's a very, very easy healing technique, but there is a foundation course to it. So in other words, if I was to say to you today, is that if I wanted you to heal with cups, okay, you wouldn't really know what I meant by cups. Or if I said to you is that I want you to heal with connections, you wouldn't really understand what I meant by healing with connections. So in other words, as I take you through the steps of the Rosslyn Healing Method, okay, or the Rosslyn Chapel Symbol Therapy, okay, which is the name of the course, the Worldwide Psychic and Healing College. There's a lot of titles here, isn't it? Okay, but I do teach a lot. So it all comes under the foundation of the Worldwide Psychic and Healing College. So as I'm teaching you the Rosslyn Healing Method, okay, basically it's very much an area is this where I do it in very simple and easy steps. So I give you and show you very quickly and easily, okay, the first one, it's a nice, beautiful balance and healing technique, okay, called the Dream Key. So I take you through how to perform healings with that. I get you to attune first to all of your angels and guides. I explain the essence of the underworld and the higher world and the middle world. Where's my book? There it is. But I take you through the whole of this manual, step by step, okay, through each one of my courses. And some of the attunement processes, I take you through that as well, okay, with the symbols connected to it. So as you're actually doing the course with me, I show you explicitly how it is. Now, I don't just make a video and say, right, there you are, I've taught you, okay? I do have what's called a questions and answer time. So in other words, for anyone who actually wishes to join us and become part of the family, or like say a large family, to learn this, okay, I do actually do let's say live streams and podcasts and everything else, as well as I'll personally email you. Okay, and if need be, we'll actually get on Messenger so I can see you anywhere in the world, and we'll actually do a live stream call. So look, the Rosslyn Chapel is the Rosslyn Chapel is basically a unique place. The symbols are absolutely amazing. Okay, so these are the techniques which I've developed. If you wish to be a student of mine, please contact me by email. Okay, all of my contact details are on my Facebook and website. Okay, but there'll be a link underneath this video. Take it easy, so that basically you can just click the link and then we can basically contact each other in time. Okay, I normally do it within the week, but if I don't contact you within the 2 or 3 days, have patience with us. Okay, I'm mostly doing a lot of teaching or a lot of therapies as well. So as I say, I do get to this, but I am a working therapist as well. Okay, so again, my name is John Joseph Campbell. This is Worldwide Psychic and Healing College. I thank you for listening to me today and watching this. Okay, it's a very exciting time. You're going to learn more about yourself than what you ever would through any other teaching process. Okay, in a very powerful and positive way. You will be able to communicate with your guides and angels. You will be able to, work with that energy flow without doubt. So in other words, what I mean by without doubt, you will definitely know when you're healing or given messages from your guides to just making a story up, put it that way. Okay, so you will definitely know the difference. And everyone who I've taught would definitely understand exactly the difference from what I teach. All right. So again, my name is John Joseph Campbell. Thank you for listening to us. I think I've said that 4 or 5 times. It's as if I'm obsessed with my own name, but believe me, I am a little bit nervous while I'm doing these live streams and seminars. Okay, so it doesn't come naturally. Hopefully, I've got my message across, and I've got some interest from you. And if so, I would love to hear from you and be delighted to teach you. Okay, thank you.